I have filmed this video 6 times now because I am overthinking it way too much. But also, I have raging ADHD, which means I am just talking from point A to Z to X to V to T to C to J to it's just a lot. So I'm gonna try again because I have a lot to say and I have a lot on my mind. And if you don't know me, hi, I'm Shaw. This is my new series, Tragically Inattentive and Distracted, i.e., Tired. This is where my little ADHD brain goes down a rabbit hole and I just be talking about things that I see on the internet that I find very intriguing. And I don't know if that's because I'm neurodivergent or millennial or just because social media has opened up so much access to the world and information and thoughts. And as beautiful as that is, and as exciting as that is, there are things that I still feel that we need to be a little bit more aware of. And as I grow older, I find myself being very introspective. And also, I'm probably going to swing a lot on this chair. So if you're not enjoying that, I do apologize. You are free to go. But if you understand what happens to you what happens to your soul when you get into a chair like this, the swinging. No, that sounds dodgy. It's not what I mean, guys. Anyway, let's get into it. I wanted to talk about the trend of being chronically offline. Now, listen, I don't know if people are still pushing this trend. I don't know if people are still writing their Substack articles about them being offline for 6 months and the 6 things they learned in those 6 months. I don't know. But I did see a video that kind of sparked this thought. Are people not off their phones? Are they not off their phones? And it made me feel a little bit old, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not trying to start a generational war here, but I do wanna add context. I feel like as a millennial, the internet was something that we went to, you know? It wasn't something that was always within reach, always in our hands, in our pockets. As much as I actually think that this chronically offline trend or going analog trend that happened a few months ago, as much as I think that it's actually very wonderful, I do feel that a little bit of how it's communicated feels out of reach for most people. And I'm not here saying you guys must be on your phones all the time. I'm actually in favor of the chronically offline argument. I do think that we are, as people, spending way too much time on our phones. We're spending the irony. Here, you're probably watching me. Anyway, we're spending way too much time on our phones. We're spending way too much time absorbing so much information that our brains are so divided in terms of attention. I was reading an article actually that was talking about how because we are consuming so much information in terms of social media, whether it's in one app or switching from different apps, our brains are divided in terms of attention. And so without even any kind of like consciousness of it, we are multitasking every single day. And multitasking is actually not good for your brain, which as an ADHD person, I'm like, thank God, because I could never flipping multitask and it made me feel like a failure. But multitasking is actually not good for your brain. And so I just really do think that, yes, I am in favor that people should be going offline, people should be taking their breaks, people should be taking their detoxes. But I do feel, again, like I said, that the way it's communicated is a little bit out of reach for most people. Not everyone can just 6 months cold turkey quit everything and be gone and then come back. But then also there is the irony of those who do that, the people who do that, they come back and then they want to tell us the lessons they learned being offline. I do appreciate that and I think it's beautiful, but at the same time, I think most of us kind of understand what will happen when we go offline. And so I really just wanted to talk about what can we actually do that will help us be offline in a way that is intentional and manageable and somewhat mindful and thoughtful. All those beautiful words. So one of the other things I read, I'm going to look at my script because I honestly don't want to go ramble for another 40 years. But one of the things that I read was in an article, a journal article, was that the average person checks their phone 85 times and they don't even realize it, to the point where the habit of checking your phone that time is habitual. That scared me. Then I was just thinking, imagine attaching weights to your phone so that every time you be lifting that shit, you get ripped. That'd be great. Anyway, but I do think what needs to happen in terms of being intentional about our online use or our phone use is time management and mindfulness. Okay. These are in par with what people talk about when they say they're going to be chronically offline, which is using or having rather planned digital breaks. But this doesn't mean being off every single thing if you know that is not possible for you. If you're someone that can actually just be fully off the grid, I keep saying off the grid as if like you're gonna go be in the forest, but maybe you, I don't know. But if you are someone that can fully be offline, then yes, be offline 2 months, 3 months, whatever your cap is, but be mindful. Taking planned breaks from anything that is digital requires you kind of to be more introspective than, oh, I'm going to delete all my social media because all social media is exhausting me, blah, blah, blah. I understand that. I have been there, but it's also evaluating which app do you feel is the most harmful for you in that moment. For me, currently, it's Instagram. I actually just full on deleted Instagram. I deactivated, I went back, and then I just thought to myself, you know what, this app does something to me that I can't explain, does something to my brain that I don't understand, and it doesn't make me feel good, so I'm just deleting the whole app. Deleted Instagram, deleted my profile, deleted the app. I feel so much better without Instagram. And I'm in the process of also not reminding, what's the word? I'm in the process of also sorting out my screen time allocation for apps like TikTok because I actually really like TikTok, but it is a very overwhelming app to be on, and I can feel how it's my brain a little bit. So, in terms of your planned break, start off small, start off 1 or 2 apps that you know and have reflected on how it makes you feel, or even if you don't know how it makes you feel, but there is something that pushes you to say, hey, I want to be off this one, do that with all of your power. Do it. But then also screen time reminders, guys. Don't ignore them. Set up your screen time reminders. If you don't like screen time reminders, then have a set time where you know what, by this time I'm stopping all TikTok scrolling, I'm stopping all YouTube shorts scrolling, and my phone is being put away. So, for example, I've started trying to spend at least 2 hours. It sounds like a lot when I say it because when you think about it, it sounds crazy. But when you're not thinking about it, some of us are out here 8 hours on TikTok. So, but for me, I'm trying to spend at least 2 hours on TikTok, and it's hard. It's hard because it just pulls you in and pulls you in. So I'm trying right now, slowly but surely, 2 hours on TikTok a day, and then by 8:30 at night, there's no screen time. Nothing, no computer, no TV, no phone. 8:30, nothing. It's just a Kindle or a book, and I'm dead to the world of social media by 8:30, and I want to gradually go earlier and earlier and earlier. But I'm not gonna suddenly 6 o'clock, 5 p.m. nothing. That would actually be very stressful for me. So it's just baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. And then the other thing is if you are doing something that requires you to focus, we need to put that phone away. I am millennial, and maybe it's the way I was raised, the way I raised myself, the way the internet was, because we had to go to the internet as millennials. We had to go to the computer in the room over there, over there. We had to go to the internet. And so I think there's still that sense of that ingrained in me and how I treat social media. But if you do need to go, if you do need to focus on something, put your phone somewhere else. Put your phone somewhere else. I will be out here, even if I'm doing silly little research things that I love doing randomly, I will throw my phone just behind me. I don't know where it goes. Just throw it. And I will sit and focus for that time. I recently had to do a big assignment, and I honestly, my phone was most of the time. It's most of the time. And all that being said, put your phone somewhere where it will not be a distraction, where you can fully focus, because it's not good for your brain to be divided and in so many different places at once. And the other thing is invest in hobbies, guys. And that means You don't need to start a whole new hobby and buy all of these new things for your hobbies. If you have a hobby that you're currently interested in, a hobby that you're already doing, be consistent in that, invest in that hobby. So I have, for example, for me, I have all the things that I need for my hobbies. And when I catch myself feeling as if, wow, I have been on my phone, on the computer, on the laptop, on the whatever for way too long, I go to the hobbies and the things that I need for my hobbies already there, and I set some time and I'm on it. And I don't set time to say, okay, I'm gonna make this puzzle for 4 hours and then I can watch TV. No, I'm ADHD, which means I need rewards, but I don't even try that with myself. I will tell myself, I'll do this for 4 hours, see how I feel. Maybe I'll pick something up, or maybe I will cook and wind down like that, whatever it works for you. And if you're relaxing, if you're just chilling or watching a TV show, one screen at a time. This is something I'm actually trying to do because I've installed the 8:13 no screen time. Something in my brain is like, okay, I have to scroll as much as I can. I have to use this other hour of my 2 hours of TikTok and scroll as much as I can while I'm crazy, crazy. But I am trying to limit to one screen at a time. And I think eventually, when all of these things are tied together, eventually you can very slowly be chronically offline. I am not saying that you should ignore anyone's advice about being chronically offline, but I am saying that there are ways to be intentional about how to be offline if throwing your phone away for 6 months is not within reach. So, again, to recap, time management and mindfulness, plan your breaks from anything digital for however it works for you. Set timers for your social media use. Check on your screen time. Make sure your screen time is not too high. Have planned times where you just are doing your hobbies or you're reading or you're doing something tactile and physical. And again, be consistent with your hobbies. Keep your hobbies going. Don't just let them fizzle out. And if you're relaxing, one screen at a time. Okay? One screen at a time. One screen at a time. Because you know what, guys? Your brain is worth it. Your brain deserves you to take care of it. You deserve to be taken care of. So take care of yourself. And one thing that I was reading from one of my papers was saying how research shows that digital technology can alter your brain structure and it can lead to a lot of cognitive impairments. And so, internet addiction was associated with reduced gray matter density in the brain's frontal cortex, which is responsible for decision making and impulse control. So, I just think you need to be intentional with your social media use, and we need to be intentional with how we wean ourselves off social media or social media addiction, because you're worth it, your brain is worth it. Take care of yourself and go out there and live your life. And if you want to write about your experience or you want to talk about your experience of being offline for a certain amount of time, share it with people, inspire people, but don't go offline so that you can come back online to share what you learned about being offline. Feels like the Matrix. Go out there, enjoy your life, learn about yourself. Your life is worth living. So put down your phone and live it. Your life has meaning. Stop looking at other lives. Enjoy yours. Now, switch me off from your screen and go and have a good day or evening or whatever time it is. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.